welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well out there. And since the Meg 2, The Trench, is coming out this Friday, I figure we should go back and talk about the original The Meg, because I'll be going to see The Meg 2 this weekend. My son's excited about seeing it. But before we get into this, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. The Meg came out August 10th of 2018, 5 years ago. It's rated PG-13. It's an hour and 53 minutes long, had a budget of $130 million, and was kind of a surprise hit that summer. It made 145 in America and 530 worldwide, so that's why we're getting a sequel to the original. Now, I've read the books these are based on, and we'll talk about a little bit of differences as we go through this review. To direct this film, they brought in Jon Turteltaub to direct this film. Jon Turteltaub's had a very interesting, eclectic career. He's done a lot of movies, done some TV. He did the movie Cool Runnings with John Candy about the Jamaican bobsled team, if you remember that one. He did both National Treasure movies, did The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage, and many other films and TV shows. Kind of like a workman director. I always thought he does a solid job, but he's definitely had a workman-like career. In this film, we have Jason Statham as Jonas Taylor, our main lead of the film. We have Rainn Wilson as Murray. He is this billionaire who's funded this underwater laboratory and studying these underwater creatures. Cliff Curtis plays Mac. He kind of oversees the facility, and Cliff Curtis it's always nice when he pops up. He's a terrific character actor. And Ruby Rose plays Jack. She takes care of all the tech on this research platform that they built. And Robert Taylor, yes, Longmire himself, plays Hellard. He plays the doctor at the facility, and him and Jonas have a past, which we see right in the beginning of this film. That's where we start off in the beginning of this film. Jonas Taylor with a bunch of other men and Heller are down trying to rescue men out of this sub that's been incapacitated very deep in the ocean. And his other part of his team is searching for guys, and he's getting people out to safety. And all of a sudden, something starts breaching the hull of this sub, and he tells everybody to start getting back to the lifeboat. And two of his guys aren't going to make it, and he makes a tough decision by closing the door, and they go while the sub explodes and kills two of his friends. And Heller blames Jonas for this, which kind of is odd because it's happening so fast, and if he wouldn't have done what he did, everybody would have died. But for some reason, through a little bit of this film, Heller maintains that Jonas lost his shit and killed some of their friends for no reason. And it always that kind of story point kind of baffles me. Yes, it puts these guys at odds, but over one of the dumbest reasons, really. If you watch it in context, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And Heller's down there with them, so I don't know. It always bothered me. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, but it's one of the plot points of this film that gets resolved fairly quickly. So Jonas has been out of the game for 5 months. He's off drinking in Thailand somewhere. And we're introduced to this research facility. We see Rainn Wilson's character coming in or showing him around and all the high-tech labs and what they're doing. They believe that down in Marianas Trench, they think what we think is the bottom isn't really the bottom. They think there's a layer that you can go through in a sub, and there's even more below it. And that's what they're there to prove. And Jonas's ex-wife is on board with two other guys going down there to test out this theory, which ends up being true. They get attacked, and they're stranded down there. And they go and talk to Jonas about coming on board to help with this rescue mission. When he finds out his ex-wife is a part of it, he says he'll do it, because at first he's like, no, I don't dive anymore, I'm not going to do it. But once he finds out his ex-wife's down there, he hops on board and goes down. And this is where we discover one of the guys gets killed by saving everybody else. And as they're coming up, a Meg follows through this lair and starts to wreak havoc. And that's pretty much the rest of the film, is them trying to find a Meg and kill it. They kill one, and they discover there's two that made it through the breach, and they have to kill it. And they end up doing it in a spectacular final action set piece. And that's pretty much the Meg. Now, what to like about this film? As I said, I've read the books by Steve Alten, wrote the books that this is based on. And they're very R-rated, the books. They're very, very R-rated. They're very gory, very graphic. And when this movie was originally announced, Eli Roth was going to direct it, and very much this was going to be a $100 million R-rated shark movie, which I would have been all for. When I heard it was PG-13, I was kind of nervous about it. They were going to water it down, but I like Jason Statham. They have a pretty good cast here. And when I saw it, overall the cast is one of the pluses here. It's pretty good, the cast here. And John Turteltaub does a nice job with the film. The film looks nice. The attack sequences are not on the suspense level, nowhere near it of Jaws, but they're well handled in a popcorn summer film kind of way. This film isn't bloody. We do see some blood from a whale and some guts and stuff. But overall, it's a PG-13 summer blockbuster type film. And John Turteltaub handles it pretty well. The action's well shot. It's well staged. Jason Statham could do this kind of movie in his sleep. And Jason Statham was a professional swimmer for many years for England. He won some medals, I do believe. So he was a professional swimmer, and he did a lot of the swimming in this film. He did the work himself, except for some of the more dangerous ones where they put a stunt person in. But Statham did a lot of the swimming himself. They toned down the violence for the movie, which I understand. They're putting up $130 million. They're not going to release an R-rated $130 million movie for a project like this that's considered a gamble. So I get it. Is this movie perfect? No. I mean, I would have liked to have seen the R-rated version, but that's me reading the books and know how graphic they were. But at the end of the day, they capture the essence of the book. The books take themselves a little bit more seriously, although they are over the top and cheesy aspect to it, but they definitely take themselves more seriously. Where here, they dial back to seriousness. Yes, there's some seriousness at play here, but they do ride that fine line between serious and cheesy and over-the-top action. I think they thread the needle pretty well here. And when I saw it in the theaters, I enjoyed it. I'm actually kind of excited about the new one. It looks like they're leaning into the cheese a little bit more. We'll see how they land with that, because there could always be a fine line on how that's going to land with audiences, or even with me. I don't mind cheesy movies, but we'll see how it goes, because I think the first one strikes a pretty damn good balance. While not being a perfect film, but I think it's a very fun, over-the-top summer thrill ride. So we'll see how the sequel ends up. But at the end of the day, I enjoyed this movie. It's not perfect. It's nowhere near on the level of Jaws. Obviously, Jaws is the gold standard of shark movies. But it's a fun, easy watch. And at the end of the day, I would give The Meg an 8 out of 10. Have you ever seen The Meg? I just gave it an 8 out of 10. Are you excited about the sequel? Leave that comment down below. Let me know if you'll be checking it out this weekend coming up. Come back Friday. We're going to have Horror Talk Live. We're going to discuss Predator. And I'm excited for that. I'll have a review out for The Meg 2 next week sometime. And we're going to get into a lot more horror titles as we march our way closer to Halloween. I'm excited. My favorite time of year. I can't wait to decorate the house in September. Yes, but until next time, hope you're all doing well out there, and bye.